comes from the medium of performance art. And he approached me after the January run of Boys to Broads, in case you're wondering how I find these acts. And he's going to be performing an excerpt from his show, Taken by the Fairies, which is based on interviews with the radical fairies. Tonight's monologue, A Little Water, comes from an interview with Niels Inez Nagig, a friend of his and a performer who now lives in New Mexico. Please welcome Mark Elm Baum.
The river, she is flowing, flowing and rolling. The river, she is flowing down to the sea. Mother, carry me, child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. Last summer, I was camping up in the foothills of the Sierras, and I took with me some letters from a man I was involved with, who used to beat me up, and who has been a haunting specter for me, who has at times had power over me. I wanted to transform these letters. Just throwing them away was not enough. So one morning, I went out to the meadow and I took a hubcap that I found on the road, put it in front of me. I was wearing just my shorts, which for me is feeling pretty naked. I started to burn some of this man's words, and I was thinking, you know, it's so dry today, and I know we aren't even supposed to smoke cigarettes out here. But I'm trying to keep it all inside this little hubcap. Just then, a gust of wind lifted a burning fragment up into the air, and I jumped up after it, but it blew out of my reach. And I imagined the whole meadow going up in flames. I figured that was a little more fire than I really wanted. Still, it was going to take a lot of fire to burn all those letters, and a much greater vessel than I had available at that time. So I said, okay, I don't have to use fire. Fire was a little bit angrier than I wanted to give this man who hurt me, but who was so hurt by Vietnam, and a terror which is far greater than anything I will know in this lifetime. Not worried. The movies, I don't think, capture a spark of the fire that was called to being in Vietnam, and I just thank God I didn't have to be there. So I decided to give him a little water on that fire. I ripped up the things, and I told him what I needed to say. And I washed them in water. And I washed him in water. Mother, carry me, child, I will always be. Mother, carry me down to the sea. I washed him, and I washed me of him. I took the shreds and a few ashes, and I put them in a bottle, and I bound it, and I closed it, and I wished it well, and I threw it